Hello, welcome to the Reframing Mindset podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, now welcome back to Reframing Mindset podcast. My name is Constant Brooks. This episode is gonna be the end of January update because we're in 2023 now, and the we're still here, so I might as well try to continue the thread. Continue the thread. So basically, I say I'm ending 2023. It was a trial. It was a trial, but I'm ending 2023 feeling good, not bad, not bad, but good. So this good is not a good like, oh, I'm happy, just that it's not bad, you know. I'm feeling more positive going to February. That's what I can say. Feeling more positive going to February. But so I have to say, this January we're going to being employed, and at the time of this recording, we're basically like what, um 3 months. Yeah, we're 3 months into the work, and if you knew about the probation episode that I speak about, yeah, we'll be way past the 90 days, and within that 90 days, I made a lot of progress. Like I reached. So at the time of this recording, I'm going into I'm so when this recording is released, I'll be in the 10th week after work. 10th week after work. So that means that the 90 days have gone, and I'm still there, and I'm progressing. So I'm close to reaching that employee status where basically, I'm doing the work for them. Yeah. So right now as I speak, I'm still kind of we're getting minor supervision and such like that. So we're not really into the work as yet, but we're we're close. We're closer than we were in the 9th week. We're closer, and about that in the 10th week update because I want to record that soon. But that episode will be coming out soon. But yeah, I can't complain. Right now, my weight now is 195, and it's funny, bro. It's funny because when I started working, like the exercise, because at the time that I was coming home, I never had time to exercise. And what happened was that because of how I was eating, because I was when I started working, I got access to like lunch, like lunch credit, so you could buy something, and then with the work stuff, you could just basically you get a certain amount of money every day, so you can spend at the canteen, and you can. So I usually just buy lunch every day, and what happened was like I went back so close to 200 pounds, and it was so it was so noticeable that like all the people that said like calling you fat in the workplace, not everybody, but like not the trainers. I mean, like the people that I came in with, the people that when I was employed, I went on my first day, the same people that I was being trained with as well. Let's start saying, it gets noticeable. So what I had to do was actually start working out in the night. I had to actually find time to actively work out in the night. So now I'm back to 195 again. I will, yeah, so I'm just gonna try to see if I can do that more consistently and such. But I guess um I guess I could mention this as well since the 10th week episode won't be coming out soon. But by this episode is released, my actual work schedule shift will change. So I'm now working that 1 to 10 shift, bro. That 1 to 10 shift. So there's a change. So I guess this I can't tell if I think it's better because I get those sleep more. But the thing about it is that it doesn't change. It's the same 8 hours. But the only difference is that I have more chance to reach in the city when everything is open. Where instead of when this shift before, by the time I reach work and by the time I left work, so when I reach in the city for work, most of these places will be open. But when I left during the evening, most of these important places that I may want to go will be starting to close. So that was the negative side of the shift that I was working on prior to now. But in the 10th week now, this shift, if I reach in the city, most of the place will be open, or all of the place will be open. So I could go there. But the thing is, like for example, certain certain stuff, like for example, if I were to buy groceries, um, it would be a bad time to buy it when I like when my shift starts because I would really have any place to put it. Cause yeah, so but I would have place, but it would be like so weird to carry my groceries to work. Yeah, so but the good thing is that's where the weekends and the day offs go. The weekends and day offs. So basically, I don't have weekends now. I have days off because I work one day on the weekend. So I just have days off now. So that's basically how it is. But that's what the weekends and day off have to be used for now. So I would just before I would actually just spend a weekend at home trying to do as much as I can to actually maximize my weeks going into. But for important groceries, I would have to actually go out on the weekends, uh, well not the weekend, but the week days off. Now I would have to actually go out on the days off. Just, that would mean I was spending extra money. Go leaving the home. I would spend extra money because I'm leaving the home. So I have to actually make those days count when I leave the home because because I'm working, but I'm not really making bank like that. I'm making some progress, and what happened is with smart financial planning, though I'm not making bank, but I'm using the money wisely. But I have to be more financially eh, smarter going forward because I'm going to be spending money on an extra day, maybe. So I have to be more smarter in how I actually split up the money so I can actually last until the next pay cycle and such like that. Because I'm legit living paycheck to paycheck. That's how I've been living the whole while, like living paycheck to paycheck. Like you can't make it up. You can't make it up. Like legit, you're on a day and for a few weeks now, on the last day, the day when I get paid is when I have my last set of money to basically carry me into the next 2 weeks. But the thing about it is that the reason why is because I've been making a lot of more quality purchase, and I'm making a few quality purchase, and those purchases are non-essential stuff. I think that I wanted, but because I'm able to work now, I can purchase it myself. So when I get paid, I just make one of those quality purchases, and then what happened now? Because I made that quality purchase, I usually have less money, so I usually just have enough money just to carry me to work, buy the lunch and stuff, and then maybe buy groceries and such. I have stuff to eat when I'm home for the 2 weeks when I up onto the day. So what happened is that most of those quality purchases are I'm soon is soon bought all the important ones that I need right now. So what happened is that I'm going to have more money after each pay cycle because I'm buying all the major I'm buying all the major quality items early so that going forward now when I make another quality purchase again, I have more left over because the next quality purchase is not that expensive as the other ones were. Yeah. So this few times I've been living paycheck to paycheck, but I'm getting better. But over time it should get better. As long as I continue to make smart financial decisions and smart choice, pay choice. Yeah. But with that, other than that, at the home, as I said, I mentioned that I made two more quality purchases. I made two more beautification purchases for the home, just so not for beautification purposes and for functionality, make it more play like. If you list from way back when I was doing the plan and executing and the house, and I talk about some purchases that I would make, just make it more friendly and such like that. I made some of those two purchases now that I have ability to make a paycheck and then um do it and to make the purchase now. But I guess should I mention what I purchased? Ah, thing about it, I could mention it and then do some funny stuff with the site that I purchased it from, so I could make more friends. But nah, I won't do it. I won't do it. Not yet. Not yet. Maybe if I made it to the end of the second year, then I will tell you everything. But I made two major purchases from that, and then what happened? There's one more quality purchase that I have to make. So when I reach the pace, if I when I reach the pace next pace cycle now, I could actually make that purchases, and that what happen would be like I would be end of the first phase of all the major quality purchases for the home. The major quality purchases for the home for now. The other purchases that I would make is a lot more expensive and a lot more planning and thinking. So I guess I would leave that to now. Yeah. But yeah, going to February, the work I'm going more. The thing about the work is I'm more confident going into the work. But the thing about it is that talking to these people, no matter how confident you are in your ability to do the work, the people, bro, that's the thing. That's the thing about like the people you are dealing with. No matter how you know your stuff, if the people don't want to work with you, it's like that's the wild thing about the work. That's the wild thing about life. No matter how you know your stuff, if the person you want your doesn't want to learn, it's like it's something. It's something. So, but I'm going to the work more confidently, like this. So I won't mention anymore until the 10th week episode because I've started mentioning more. I'm basically giving the 10th week reaction, but yeah, I'm going to February more positive, so I can't complain. I'm really grateful. So that's it for this episode. I look forward for the next episode. hmm Okay, and I'm back. I forgot to mention something. In the January update. Yes. So with the new shift that I'm on, there's a lot, there's a lot more things that can change. Like for example, I can record in the mornings before work now because I can record in the day, and yeah, so it's the same thing. So I usually happens now for the past few episodes, like from the day I got the job, and for a while I usually record on the weekends and day off. But now I can actually record like in a day in the week now because I'll be on another shift. And also the next thing is, bruh, like one of the worst thing was like when I was working because I have to reach work so early. The showers were cold as hell. It was cold. That's an oxymoron. Cold as hell. Hell is not cold. Hell is hot. So it was cold as ice. It was cold as ice. But yeah, the benefit is now that I'm on the morning shift. Well, not morning shift. It's a night shift. It's a night shift. But what happened is that I could shower later, and it's not being so cold anymore. So wow, that's a benefit. That's a benefit. But yeah, so that's basically it for the end of January update. Yeah, let's see what happened. What can happen in February? What can happen.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page Reframing Mindset Podcast or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.